Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday night. The week is now more than halfway over and the month is ending. Can you guys believe that July is done? That we are at July 31st. Tomorrow morning when we get up, it will be August 1st. Where is the month going? Where is the summer going? It is flying by. It's been crazy. I guess it doesn't, part of it is that I spent half my month out of town, playing around and, well, actually having a great summer and at the convention and everything else. So I guess that made July fly fast. But, I can't believe it. People are already starting to talk about their kids going back to school. And, tell me, where do you live? Are your kids heading back soon? I was talking to a client earlier today whose kids go back like next week. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. School can't start that soon. Our summers are not over. I'm not ready to give up my summer yet. Because I love summer. I love the weather. It's so much nicer than, I'm not a cold snow person. And yes, I live in Michigan and I deal with the cold snow, but I really don't enjoy it. But tonight I wanted to talk to you as this month has been flying by, as this summer has been flying by, and so much has happened this summer and so much that I have to be grateful for. And I really, wanted to talk about tonight about creating the life that you want. Creating the life that, building that life, that bigger life that you want, because things do fly by really fast, right? I mean, this summer has just flown and life is just flying by, and we can sit back and let it fly back. Hey, Jackie, yes, July went so fast. It was crazy. We can sit back and let the months fly by really quickly, right? They're going to go. Time is going to go. Time is going to pass. Or we can utilize that time and build the life that we want and work for the things that we want and create what we want in our lives. And it took me a long time to learn this. It took me a long time to learn that I am in control of what I want in my life and building what I want in my life. And once I learned to do that, wow, even when time flies past me, I can look back and say how amazing it is, right? This month of July for me was just beyond amazing. It started off, my kids were really bummed because, as I said before, they're supposed to go to sleepaway camp this year. They're supposed to be there now. And my kids love sleepaway camp, and we love it for them. And some stuff happened, life happens, man plans and God laughs, and stuff happened. And the sleepaway camp plans got canceled, right? And we took that and said, okay, what are we going to do with this? We are in control, right? We can create the life that we want. We can create what we want we could have turned this into something terrible and sad and miserable and whatever. And instead, I said to the kids, okay, guys, what do you want to do, right? We have the money that we were supposed to use for camp. What do you want to do instead? And of course, they said, let's go back to Disney World. Hence the trip to Disney World at the beginning of at the beginning of July. But the truth is, we've worked really hard to build this life that we want, to build the life that we have, right? 3 years ago, that wouldn't have been an option. And Micha and I made a decision 3 years ago when I started coaching, when I started this, that we wanted something different. We wanted something different for ourselves. We wanted something different for our children. We wanted to build a life where we could dream really big, but not just dream, but that we could turn those dreams into a reality. And we've done that, right? We're not done. We are not done at all. And the cool thing is with this is we're teaching our kids to dream and dream big. It's funny to ask them. I don't know if you've ever, asked your kids, dream big. What is it? If you could have anything in the world, what would you want? My son who's 8, it says a Nintendo Switch because we don't do video games in my house. So when he said that, I sort of laughed because, right, if we wanted a Nintendo Switch, I could go buy a Nintendo Switch, right? Thank God I'm in a position I wouldn't even flinch at that. But he doesn't have a Nintendo Switch, not because of finances. If we don't have a Nintendo Switch, because I don't want his face in front of video games all the time. But that has nothing to do with any of that. But teaching our kids, that's one of the things that I've started really working with my kids on, is dreaming big. Like, what is it that you want in your life? What do you want to work for? Because when we learn to do that young, right? I never knew how to do that young, right? When I first started this journey and I was starting to dreaming big, I only dreamed little, right? I couldn't envision anything bigger. And I couldn't envision having a life where I could do what I wanted and give, be able to do the things that I want to be able to do and not worry. because I was so far from that. We had been so far from that for a long time. And over the last 3 years, as we've dug ourselves out of the financial mess that we were in, and as we've recreated our lives and built our lives based on health and, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances, all those things, as we've built that, right? We've learned to dream. First, I learned to dream. My husband learned to dream. And now we're teaching that to our kids. And it was really interesting. I was having a conversation with my kids yesterday morning. Was it yesterday morning? I think it was yesterday morning. Time flies too quickly. And they were talking about my working and what I'm doing. And I looked at them and I said, guys, what I do, I love what I do, because not only am I helping us and I'm helping so many other people, but we're changing the world. And, I said, you guys are all part of this too, right? Even though you're not technically, you're not coaches, but the things that you're learning and the things that you're copying from us, we're changing the world. And it's so, so amazing. Tonight we were on our company's Habits of Health call. It happens every Wednesday night. And the co-founder of the company and author of our books, our Habits of Health book and our new Life book, which is awesome. I did a post about it earlier about the Life book. The Life book, our new transformational system, is beyond amazing, and he was launching it tonight and really telling the world about it tonight. And if you wanted to come on there and you weren't on, I'll have the recording for it tomorrow. But he really goes through talking about how we're changing everything, how we are changing the concept of, getting healthy, right? So many people think it's just weight loss, but it's not weight loss. It's healthy body, it's healthy mind, it's healthy finances. And an amazing piece of our new system is the Life book. I talked about this last night as well. I think I talked about it on here. The Life book is a big piece of it, right? And so, yes, while we're helping people with healthy body, and yes, it looks huge, it is, but it's a book that's going to take me through, I've already started working in it, through a year plus of my life, right? To take me to work on the healthy mind, right? So it starts out when a client is working through this book, it starts out with their current reality, filling in, what is your current reality? Who are you? Where are you? What do you want, right? And it takes you through all these pieces, right? Element 1 is your current story. What is your life right now, right? We're focusing on what is our life right now. And then it goes into creating a why, a clear why of why we want to change and where we want to go. And it goes on through, and what do you want, and asking all these questions. And it's awesome because it does talk about weight, but, right, it also goes into healthy mind. Healthy mind comes first. Element 4, so even before we even start talking about weight. So, right, element 1 is being clear on why you're here. And the second one is what you want to accomplish. And then what do you want to create, right? So you're learning to dream before you're even going into anything else. And then element 4 is building a healthy mindset, right? And that's what's so important. So important about what we want to create, what we want to dream, and dream big. Because if we don't know why we're here and what we want to create, we can't go anywhere, right? And then it gets into the nuts and bolts of making change, right? Then it gets into the nuts and bolts of, for this it's weight loss, but no matter what it is, right? Wherever you're going, those are such important pieces. And that is why I love this program that I coach so much, is because we have these resources for our clients, right? To help our clients, not just with quick fix weight loss, because I can give you quick fix weight loss. I can give you that. I can give you predictable transformations, right? But that's not what this is about. That's not what life change is about. Life change is about up here, right? And that's why I talk so much about this all the time. It's about that mindset piece. And so really it's learning to dream. It's learning to say, this is what I want with my life, and I deserve so much better than wherever I am, right? And I still say that. I have an amazing life, right? One of the questions that we ask in our health assessment now is, how satisfied are you in your life, right? On a scale of 1 to 10. And I would tell you right now in my life, I'm way up there. I'm really satisfied with the life that I'm building. But just because I'm satisfied with the life that I'm building doesn't mean that it can't get better. And that's really what I want to say to you, is that, if on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at a 10, it can go better. It can get to a 20, right? It can get better. We just have to keep dreaming and keep dreaming bigger, and really learn to do that, and really learn to work towards it and work for it, right? I was having a conversation today with a client that we were talking about, and she, there were certain things that she's, she wants in her life. And I said to her, you know what I want you to do? I want you to sit down, and I really want you to envision what it's like to have those things, because When you know what it's like, you put it out there in the world and it comes to you. And it comes back to you tenfold. And, right? So, but you have to be clear on what you want. When you're clear on what you want and when you're clear on what you're looking for, right? Then it doesn't just come to you magically, right? I mean, I'm a believer in a higher power of giving us what we ask for, but it's not just going to be handed to us on a silver platter, but we're going to be given the opportunities to work for it. And once we become clear on what we want, we're going to be given the ways to take those steps forward, right? When I became very clear 3 years ago on what I wanted, it was handed to me. It didn't come easily. I had to do the work, right? I had to follow my program. I had to put myself out there. I had to do the hard work and the heart work, right? To grow, and I continue to have to do that. But I'm given those opportunities because I'm clear on what I want. So I put it out there and it becomes much easier. It comes to me much easier. So really, that's what you've got to know. What is it do you want from this world? What is it that you want from this life? And what is it that you are going to be able to give back to this world? Because when we give, right? When we give, we also receive, right? When we give, the more we give, the more we receive. So we shouldn't be giving just to receive, but that's how it works, right? When we're doing good for people, good comes back. And in so many different ways, in unexpected ways. And it's really just amazing. And I've really learned this over and over and over again over the last 3 years since I started coaching, right? The more I put out there, the more positive I put out there, and the more the more positive that comes back. And part of that is by choice, right? I remove the negativity. And this is one of the things that I talk a lot about with my clients, with my kids. This is a big thing, is that when somebody is negative towards me or towards them, I mean, this is really with my kids a lot, it's on the other person. It's not on me, right? I don't look at it as being on me. I look at it as the other person's having a tough time and they're responding some way, unless I've really done something wrong. But even if I've really done something wrong and, it's still their response is on me, just the same way as my response when somebody does something, however I react is on me. And when you start looking at the world that way and you start finding the positive in things like that, everything shifts. It was actually interesting. My daughter came to me the other day, and they have the printout of what they're doing every day at camp. And she came to me, and they were doing 5 different things that day at camp. And she came, and she was complaining because she didn't like one of the things. And I looked at her, and I said, "Really? You're going to complain?" I said, "There are 5 things on this list, and you like 4 out of the 5." I said, "And you don't even know that 5th that you're looking at isn't going to be fun." I said, "Why so negative about it? Why let that ruin the whole day, right? You like 4 of these things sound rockin' awesome. So go and appreciate those 4 things. And if one's not as great, okay, right? You'll make the fun out of it." And she heard that and she sort of nodded. And today's Wednesday. So that was Monday that we had this conversation. Then Tuesday, was it Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. Again, same thing. She comes and she likes 4 out of the 5 things. Actually, and the 5th thing that she didn't like, it was that they were going to a non-kosher restaurant for some food. Actually, that might have been today. I don't remember. I'm mixing up my days this week. It was either yesterday or today, right? And they were going to a non-kosher restaurant, so she wasn't going to be able to eat the food. And I looked at her and I said, "So what?" I said, "First of all, as someone who didn't keep kosher growing up, I can tell you that out of all places that they could be taking you, that one's pretty gross. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to bash any fast food restaurants, but it was pretty gross. And I did used to like fast food when I was a kid." I was like, "So I can tell you're not missing out on anything." I said, "So that's the first thing." I said, "But the second of all," I said, "all this other fun stuff is going on in the day. And there's one small piece that doesn't look fun. Like, what's that all about?" Right? And she came home and, she realizes it. She starts to say it, like, okay, we're going to focus on those positive things that are going on, and those negative things, just push them aside and make the best out of them, right? And I've said to her, I was like, you don't have to live with, like, looking through rose-colored glasses. And, of course, she didn't understand what that meant, so I had to explain what that was, right? We don't have to look at the world in rose-colored glasses all the time, but we kind of do, right? We don't want to be naive about things that are going on, but we don't have to dwell on the negative. When we don't dwell on the negative, we don't let that control us, we are so much happier. And that is how we create the world that we want, right? When we bring that positive, when we live in a positive world, that's how we create what we want. We bring that positive into our world. But when we live in a negative mindset all the time, right? You can comment below if you know people who are constantly in a negative mindset, because I know people like that. And the truth is I have to separate myself from them. I can't be around people like that, people that are complaining all the time, because it just brings everything down. And then you can't find positive in anything. And that's so important, making that mindset shift and looking at things and finding the positive in anything, right? Even in the worst circumstances, you're going to find positive. There's always something good in there. There's always, that light at the end of the tunnel. There's always that silver lining in something. You just have to be willing to find it. You just have to have the mindset to be open to look at it, because life flies by too fast, right? As I started this out, July flew by in the blink of an eye, right? Life flies by too fast. All of a sudden we turn around and our kids are grown up and our life has gone on. And if we've spent our time focusing on all the negative, how miserable is that, right? But when we focus our time on finding the positive, when we look back on it, wow, how amazing it is. Hello, Izzy. I have a visitor. It totally changes. I know, when we were on our trip and I was posting all kinds of pictures, right, of all my, of the smiling, happy pictures. And I had people ask me, they're like, are your kids always that happy? No, my kids are not always that happy. My kids fight. Come on to a phone call with me in the middle of the afternoon and you'll hear, I can guarantee, my kids screaming at each other or coming upstairs and bugging me, right? That's the reality. They're kids. They're kids. They're going to fight with each other. They're going to have meltdowns. They're going to have whatever. They're kids. But those aren't the moments that I document, right? Because when it comes back to things, I don't want to focus on that. It's the reality and I see it and I know it and, but that's not what I want to focus on. When I scroll back next year, when I get the, this day, on this day in my memories of Facebook, I don't want to remember those meltdowns. I want to remember the smiles that we took pictures of. I don't want to remember 30 seconds before when they were screaming at each other and I'm like, just smile for the picture, right? Nobody else, I can guarantee nobody else can relate to that. Nobody else has had to yell at their kid to smile for a picture. Right? But that's what I want to remember. I don't want to remember those pieces. I want to remember the smiling parts and the happy parts, because that's what we've got to go on. And, if that's living with rose-colored glasses, then great. That's what I'll do. Hey, Gail. It's really important, though, to build a life that you want. It's really important to, dream big. Dream big and focus on the things that are positive in your life. So as we wrap up this month of July, we have 23 minutes left in this month of July here on the East Coast. Let's vow to make August an amazing month, the best month ever. The month to get healthy, whatever that means, physically, financially, emotionally, right? The month to pay it forward, the month to do only good things, right? The month to take, and create a kindness initiative and be out there and spread kindness, spread happiness to people so that we can make the world a better place, because that's what we're here for. We are here to bring light into this world in a positive way. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful night. Finish off this month in a great positive way. End your month. If you're going to bed tonight, stop and give some gratitude before you go to bed. Think of the wins for the month, things that you did well, and let's set yourselves up for an awesome best August ever. I hope you have a great night. I am heading to bed in a few minutes because I have to be up super early because I have my networking meeting tomorrow morning. And I will see you back here tomorrow, August 1st. Bye.